The second match of the Joe Montemurro era ends in a 1-1 draw between Australia and Slovenia in Perth. A disappointing result after what was overall a good performance from Australia, probably a little bit better from what we saw in Game 1 on Thursday evening. Would love to hear from you guys as well. Feel free to drop your thoughts and feelings on this game. A goal from Michelle Heyman early on in the second half, and that late equaliser coming in the 91st minute from Slovenia. Heartbreak for the Tillies at the end. Obviously just a friendly, but the fact that we didn't quite manage things at the end there is a little bit disappointing. But again, overall, this performance, you've got to say, is an improvement from what we saw on Thursday night, which was good. We got that 3-0 win on Thursday, but there was that little bit of sloppiness there. But of course, as we have all been saying, it's going to take some time for the players to get used to the new system. We can only improve from here on out. But overall, it has been a solid start for Joe Montemurro as head coach. Let's check out the lineup that Australia deployed for this game. Mackenzie Arnold coming in goals, which is good to see. It feels like Tegan Micah in the past year or so now has sort of been taking over as that first choice goalkeeper. Carpenter starting once again, Claire Hunt, Winona Heatling, Charlie Grant in that back line, and Alana Kennedy in defensive midfield alongside Cooney Cross. So there was a big switch there, swapping Heatley and Kennedy. Heatley dropping into centre back, who for me was the player of the match. She was absolutely fantastic. And Alana Kennedy playing that defensive midfield role. She did play that position in the second half in Game 1, and that's something that I think we've already clearly learned, that Joe Montemurro wants to have that real defensive-minded player in the heart of midfield there. The attacking four was Remy Seamson, Amy Sayre, Caitlin Torpey, and Michelle Heyman. So a bit of rotation there in the front third as well. I thought Amy Sayre was fantastic. I'd really like to highlight her performance playing in that number 10 role. I think that could well be her best position. She is effective whether she is playing out wide or through the middle, but playing that number 10 role, it feels like in this system that Joe Montemurro is deploying, that provides Sayre a bit of freedom. She's floating around the pitch, she's getting involved in the game, and I really like what she brought to that position, that's for sure. But overall, you look at that lineup and there's a really good balance there. Cooney Cross and Kennedy working really, really hard in the heart of midfield. Cooney Cross, as always, exceptional for Australia. She's always one of the Matildas' best whenever she's starting. And coming off the bench, again, a number of changes here for the Tillies. Nevin, Berry Hill, Gilnick, Rasso, McNamara, and Alana Murphy also coming off the bench there for Australia. It was a good start for the Tillies. I thought the opening half an hour, we were pretty much in total control of the game. Not too many chances for Slovenia. Matilda's creating some half opportunities, and they started to get better and better as the game went on. Finally made that breakthrough early on in the second half. Nicely worked goal, and Michelle Heyman with an instinctive finish there for Australia. And we really should have sealed the game later on in that second half there. We had some fantastic opportunities throughout the game. I mean, really, Australia could have had 2, 3, 4 goals in the end. While the general play overall was good, and there were probably less mistakes in this game, we just lacked, I think, that final ball, that final touch to finish off those moves. Hopefully that's something that's just going to be polished up over time as these players get used to the new system under Joe Montemurro. Looking at the stats again, this is not too dissimilar to what we saw in Game 1. Matildas with 14 shots, just the 4 on target, but again, 61% possession, more possession there for Australia once again. 18 shots for Slovenia, just the 4 on target, 39% possession for the away team, and a lot of those shots for Slovenia coming in those final 5-10 minutes when they really pushed Australia at the end there. And that was probably one of the only real disappointing aspects of the game, the fact that we did concede that goal at the end there. There was some great chances for Slovenia at the end that we were doing really well to deal with. Winona Heatley and Claire Hunt were stepping in to make some crucial tackles there at the end to try and keep that clean sheet for Australia, but we weren't able to hold on in the end. 1-1 draw in the end. Of course, it is just a friendly, and overall these performances across these two games against a decent opposition from Europe, pretty happy with what we've seen. And it's exciting knowing we've still got a couple games coming up next week as well to test ourselves against Panama, a different opposition. It'll be a different test for Australia. A bit of rotation as well. We've got a bunch of newer players coming in for that camp as well next week, so it'll be interesting to see whether Joe Montemurro continues to tweak things a little bit. Which players does he favour for this new system? We'll certainly keep an eye on that one. Drop your thoughts in the comment section and stay subscribed for more Matildas content right here on the channel. My name's Lockie. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next one.